So I'm hoping this is working. That I'm not hearing any sound at all. That sounds bad. Is there any sound? Because I'm not seeing anything. Anybody? I'm going to be so grumpy if the sound is not working. No. Is there any sound, folks? Because if not, I'm going to have to try again. I'm not hearing any sound whatsoever. Anybody? Sound? Yes or no? Yes? Sounds working. Okay. Oh my gosh. So everybody, welcome to the Wednesday live stream, an hour off the time. And right now I'm sitting looking at the little indicator thing that shows the microphone. And usually when the mic is working, there's like a little green thing that's like, it says the sound is on. I didn't even try to use the big mic today. I was like, whatever. And I just went with the webcam because I just cannot be bothered to mess with the sound today. So, whew. Anyway, thank you for folks showing up sort of at this odd time. Life is happening. Like this morning, got up as normal, and turns out one of my children was sick. And turns out now, in this day and age, you can't just keep the sick kid home and send the rest of them to school. So, just fast forward to COVID testing and like being on the phone and like figuring out the things. And so instead of the kids being at school, the kids are actually in the other room right now watching The Lion King, because I was not going to give up the stream today because I had kids that are sick. So yes, here we are. Here I am wearing my Ezoic shirt that I got in the mail. You guys can complain about Ezoic and all of their things, but their t-shirt game is pretty good. Like, this is a really comfy shirt. I haven't washed it yet, but I'm really afraid that if I do, it will shrink because it just fits perfectly right now. I may never wash it. It may just be like the Ezoic shirt that's always this size. Hey, I'm going to the chat to say hey to Soren and Keith. What's going on? And Margaret and Sabina and Dee. Hey, Dee, I have not seen an email from you yet, and I think I owe you an hour of my time. And if you sent me an email and I missed it, that's my bad, and I'm sorry. And we got to get this on the calendar. Maybe not till after the holidays, but I'm just saying I'm thinking about you. There is Adrian and Zach and Alexander and Jay. What's going on? And Peak. This is a good time after dinner. Normally this is not a good time for me, but here we are, because usually either Alex or Doug is streaming right now, and they might be streaming right now. But I said, whatever, like this is what was going to happen, and I had stuff that I wanted to talk about today. Speaking of my list of stuff to do, folks, if you have questions in the chat, hey Eric, what's going on? Lady D, as people are coming in, filtering in, welcome. For us here in the United States, tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and I had plans to work today and part of tomorrow and then have Thanksgiving with my family. And it turns out I have kids at home today and tomorrow. So I currently, of my goal to get the Mega site to 500 articles by the end of this month, so thereby getting ahead of my goal, which was to finish by the end of the year. I still have 35 articles to go, and I've sort of lost a big chunk of time for when I'm going to do this. So I don't know how this is going to happen, but I said I was going to get to 500 by the end of this month. And so I just got to figure out how to make that happen somehow with kids. So that is the thing that I'm sitting here thinking about right now. Like, okay, this is my schedule. All of a sudden just changed. How am I going to get this done? Because I can't get like the update right now, right? Like everybody is like going like crazy about the update if it impacted them. Like the affiliate lab and like the folks that are focused on affiliate content, they're like, whatever, like it's crickets. But the folks that are focused on info sites, a lot of people have gotten hit by this update, which I think, and don't quote me on this, but I think has to do with the snippets. And so a lot of people who lost snippets, like their keywords are still ranking, everything is still doing all of the things that it did before, but the snippet situation has changed. So there are some people in our community who sadly have been sucked into this update, and I don't know necessarily what it is about these sites yet that means that some people manage to get sucked in or not. I have definitely noticed as like some loss of traffic, but I think one of the reasons why I haven't been decimated by this is because I didn't do a lot to try to optimize for snippets. So I hate to kind of laugh, but It's sort of like when you have money, you could put it in the stock market and you just decide to leave it in the bank, and it doesn't increase in value because it's sitting in the bank earning like 0.03% interest a month. But then when everybody gets hammered by an economic downturn, you're like, well, I still have money in the bank earning 0.03%. So so yeah, I hate to make jokes because there are a lot of folks who this has been a big deal for them, and I think we're going to be spending a lot of time in the next couple weeks or a couple months trying to figure out what happened, and then what we can all learn from it, right? What the takeaway is from this. But I wasn't optimized for snippets, and I didn't have very many snippets, and so I didn't lose very many snippets. So maybe that is my initial guess of why I'm not crying more tears into my coffee right now. D says, sorry, my bad. I thought you would be getting busy with more than in my 500 articles. I'm never too busy for you, my dear. That's all I'm saying. Key said, this is a great weekly fix. Just saying, like, for me, this Wednesday is like a weekly reset, like a weekly refocus, like my motivation accountability lever. I really use Wednesdays as my springboard for the things that I'm going to get to do in the next week. So I think it's all right. Zach says 1 p.m. in Chicago, perfect for lunch and video. Yep, sometimes it happens. 10 o'clock is usually the time that works for me. Keith has a question. He says, does anyone use AMZ Watcher? They're running a Black Friday deal, but I want to hear feedback. So I don't, but in the chat, I would love to hear what people have to say about it, because I don't know. Let's see. Sabina says, I don't know, my traffic is really flat, but it's kind of summer seasonal. Maybe that's what I'm telling myself. The Mega side is like been flat, and like I think I'm getting ready. I'm going to be doing the income report here shortly. And as it comes back to no look November, I will just be honest, right? Because I was doing this no look November thing because I applied for Mediavine last month with the Mega site. I have had to look, right? I have had to log into Google Analytics and to Ezoic. So I know where the site is at right now because it's really hard to avoid it. But I'm not looking if I don't have to, is all I'm saying. But I can still tell from my minimal looking that the site is still on the I don't want to say like a downward trend, but it's still like it's not going to be a month where I can say this was a growth month. I think that it will be a month where I actually lost some ground. So it's a bummer, but at the same time, have chosen not to focus on that because the best I can do is just focus on like the things that I post, and then Google does what it does. And my hope is that if I produce more content, that it will go up. So anyway, the sum of it is, yes, I know where the site is at, but I cannot tell honestly whether or not it's still the downturn that I was in or if it was update related. I think that's the long and short of saying I have no idea what's happening, and I'm not really looking that much. I'm just going to try to get my articles done for the month. Speaking of, for the Mega site, I was going to have to do 95 articles for the month, and so far I've done 60. So I just have 35 more to go. I'm going to need everybody's help to keep me on track, but I think in a week's time I can get 35 more articles together. Fingers crossed. There's Sue. What's going on? How's it going? There's Donna K and Chris FTS. And then Lady D says, bummer, my Google traffic is down by 60%. It started to drop after I joined Zoic 3 weeks ago. So Lady D, my question then is, where are you looking at your traffic stats? Because sometimes, depending on where your Google Analytics code is stored, is listed, sometimes like Ezoic or Leap will delay the registering, the firing of that code when somebody visits. So I would just ask, the first question I have is, does the traffic in Google Analytics match the number of visitors and sessions and such in big data analytics? Because if they don't match, then I would say, maybe you have a technical problem. But if not, then obviously there could be other things happening. There's Jay-Z. What's going on? John, I feel like we haven't caught you live, even though you now live in a time zone friendly place to watch the stream. So how's it going? Are you still working on all of the various things? I haven't seen your updates in a long time, so I would love to know what is going on with you. Adrian said, maybe in bed. I'm lost. I don't even know what you guys are talking about. Sabina says, no, I committed to 6 months of no looking at analytics on site 2. Yes, I feel like maybe I rubbed off on somebody, this whole not looking thing. Those analytics hurt my feelings. Yes, I checked GSC for indexing, might just use site colon. Yeah, whatever gets you there, like whatever keeps you on track. For me, it is accountability, people, plus not looking at stats so much, because that doesn't help me at all. D says, no look November has been great. I've had to look as I've added a new site to Ezoic and changed hosting, but I've been more conscious about it. Yeah, I don't think no look November always has to be never looking ever, but sometimes it's just looking less or just being really disciplined about when you do look. Let's see, Adrian, people are saying hi. Smash the smash the like button. Smite the like button. One of the things people ask a lot about and have started to ask about is my Mediavine switchover experience. And so I will create a video about it eventually, but ads for, so last week I polled the crowd. I said, what should I do? Should I wait? Should I switch and make launch ads with Mediavine Live after the holidays? And everybody, I think except Chris might have been the only one who was like, do it right away. And everybody was like, you should wait, you should wait, you should wait. And I was like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I'll totally wait. And then 2 days later, I was like, whatever, let's do it. So I just accepted the possibility that the site might be down, that ads might be off the site during a high traffic, high earning time period, and that I might lose some money. I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. So the timeline wise, let's see, I got approved for the site. The Mega site got approved tentatively on a Tuesday for ads. And so then it took 10 days after that for ads to go live. So I made the decision, let's see, on Wednesday after the stream, despite everything that y'all said, to not go live, I said, fine, let's do it. And so I emailed Mediavine and I said, let's do it. And so on Thursday, we decided to, I went through all the checklists and all of the things. And then Friday morning, they said, we're ready to go. And I was like, okay, well, this could be bad because support was super slow. And I thought that maybe we go into the weekend with no ads on the site and I would lose money the whole weekend. And so Friday morning, we decided to go live. And literally that same day, within a couple hours, there were ads on the site. Like there was lots of emails, like going through some technical stuff, but I sat by the computer the whole time. And the first day, I lost money. The site normally earns between $30 and $40 a day. And that day, the site earned $3. And they were like, oh, don't worry. It takes a couple of weeks to optimize and do all the things. And those of us who have Ezoic, we're totally used to waiting a couple of weeks. But it turns out by day number 2 of there being Mediavine ads on the site, I had like returned to my previous RPM with Ezoic for the site. So truly, like, I don't know what everybody else's experience was, but there was only 1 full day of revenue lost. And by day 2, I was earning at least what I had made before. And then on day 3 was one of the first days where I actually earned more. So that was the outcome of that. It could have been like totally a bad experience. I could have suffered and gone days without ads, but turns out I was all worried for nothing. And it took basically 1 day. So I don't know if that was your experience, but that worked for me. Yeah, any questions about that? Let me know. Let's see. Jay-Z says, yeah, I've been working on the sites, which is good. I've got 3 at the moment. Yes, well, we were the mantra for us, you and me, in 2021 has been about focusing. So have you gotten all the sites to $1,000 a month yet? Because that's really what I want to see before we start another one. He says he's working on getting site 2 to 30,000 page views. Site 3 is just chugging along, but only 4 months old. Jay-Z says, my daughter Bella wants to know when it's your birthday. Me? Well, my birthday is in July. And if your daughter wants my date of birth and my year of birth and my social security number, we're going to have to talk offline about that also. Lady D says, I checked Google Search Console for the Google impressions, not my analytics. If no impressions, no traffic, 60% traffic. So not only have you lost traffic, but you've lost impressions also. I have to wonder, have you checked the indexing situation? Because sometimes Google will de-index a couple of posts that could mean dramatic changes to your website. Have you been checking to see whether or not, like under the coverage tab, if those articles are indexed? And even if they say that they are, I put everything into SERP Robot and then to see what articles pop up or not, because sometimes even if Google says they're indexed, they are not, and SERP Robot can tell me. So maybe something like that happened, and I would wonder if that was. Adrian says, talking about Instagram links, like I missed the beginning of that conversation. Eric does say, that's great. It shows that taking initiative pays off. Yes, well, sometimes it doesn't. And this is just one of those instances where it did. John says Mediavine was same for him. I've heard of other people who had ads down for several days before they were able to get up and get going. So I wouldn't say that that happens for everyone. It's just, that's what happened to me. Don't listen to us. Well, there's so much knowledge in this group. Why wouldn't I listen to you? Being a daredevil is rewarding, I guess. Well, here's one thing I will say. When we first get started online, we don't necessarily know what we're doing. And a lot of what beginners do, myself included, is we continually look for positive affirmation that we are on the right path. And we see it in live streams all the time. You see it in comments on videos. You see it in Facebook groups where people are saying, I want to do this. Is this okay? Like, I want to get SiteGround for hosting. Is this okay? I want to, go with Ezoic. I want to go with Mediavine. I want to go, is this okay? And it's hard for people to make the transition to just making those decisions without getting some affirmation from someone else in the group that has been around a little bit longer. And I caught myself doing that, right? Like I felt like I couldn't make that decision without checking in with people. And I think that's what got me is I realized like, wait a second, I can make this decision. I'm going to make this decision. And you know what? I will accept the consequences of this decision. And so I did. But it just made me think about what it was like in the first year of trying to make, well, first 2 years for me, trying to make money online was like that lack of confidence and what I do with it, like trying to go to people to get permission. And I don't need people's permission. I mean, I like to get guidance and your opinions. I just need to make my own decision. And that's ultimately what happened. So it was an interesting week, is what I'll just say. Simplified gardening. Don't worry about being late. I'm an hour late. Normally I stream an hour ago. Normally I'd be wrapping up right now, but instead I got started at 11 Los Angeles time. So here we are. Man, the like button is very quiet today. There's only 4 thumbs up. So if you want to make my heart feel fuzzy, you'll go over there and smash that, because I don't know that it tells YouTube anything, but it makes me feel good. So yeah. Lady D says, I'll wait one more week to see if it changes before contacting Ezoic. Given how long it might take yourself to get to talk to someone, I'd say why wait? Might as well do something. Might as well say something. See what happens. There is Will. What's going on? I feel like we haven't caught you in a while, Will. So it's good to see you in the chat. What's going on? Adrian got home. So simplified gardening must be Tony. I will learn your name, sir. I can't promise that it will be soon. I'm a work in progress. I will get there. Savita says, I feel like not asking permission is one of your core messages here. Look, yes. Feel free to, you just paraphrased like a 5-minute rant into one sentence. I should hire you to do that for me. Keith said, regarding Mediavine ads not showing up for a while, is that because the site is new to advertisers and the little delay before they notice and can bid on your stuff? Yes, but also as far as getting ads up, sometimes there are technical things that prevent you from launching. And some of those things, like I've heard other people having trouble with their ads text file. I definitely had a line of code hidden somewhere in my theme that I had to go hunt down and delete. And I don't know if I had originally inserted that or if there was something left over from Leap. Like if I didn't know what to do or how to do that, or I wasn't able to get to all of these emails. Like you could see how this could take some time, and this you can't get into that process until you take ads off from the other network when they're trying to put ads on. And they did offer to log in and do something themselves. Like there was one custom CSS situation where I put it in just like they said, but it didn't seem to do the way they said. And so they asked for an admin login, and I just gave it to them because I can't be bothered to learn how to do that. And they said they would do it. And I said, sure, go do it. And they did it. And then that was that. So that's all right. Thanks for tips. It's like throwing a kid in the pool and teaching them to swim. That's a little bit about what making money online is about. As I was going through my to-dos today, I realized that I have not made a video about the Fight site project in quite some time. I think the last video I made was a month one video. For those of you who are new to the channel or new to this live stream, you will remember that in July decided to start a new site. And Chris, Niche Safari Chris, who's a good friend of mine, we are friends, right, Chris? We decided to do a pseudo battle. So we did a podcast about it, and then we made 2 or 3 videos about it, and then we both got really busy. And I continued to work on my site because the fight, the rules were that we couldn't do more than 15 articles a month. So I think in the first month, Chris is there. He says, yes, we're friends. By the way, how's it going, Chris? And so you can tell me if I'm wrong then now that you're here, but I think Chris wrote content for the first month, and then I don't think he did any more content on it. So at this point, I think Chris, that project for him is on pause because, there was a lot of other stuff to focus on, and a new site, which had sounded like a great idea in July, no longer sounded like a good idea. So I continued to work on mine, and what's hilarious about it is that I had all these plans, right? I was obsessed with topical authority, and so I picked a specific topic in the niche, and I'm going to write every single article possible on this topic, right? I'm just going to, who cares if it gets any traffic or anything? I'm going to beat these other established sites because I'm just going to go deeper on this specific thing than anybody else. Well, that lasted a whole month. I wrote articles for a whole month on this, and then I decided to just go hunt for keywords that seemed like low competition that were in the niche and just hope for the best. So what has happened with this site is that as of today, November 24th, this site has 75 articles. So it's July, August, September, October, November. So 15 articles a month. There's 75 articles there. And this site is almost like crickets to this day. And one of the problems, and I'm aware of this, is that there's some indexing issues. And Google says that the articles are all indexed. Its little green check mark is there, but when I put them into SERP Robot, there's only 16 out of the 75 that are found. So I don't believe you, Google. I think you're lying to me. And so, yes, so the only recently in the last 2 or 3 weeks, am I seeing the purple line in Search Console starting to go like this at all. I think there's a couple reasons for this. One, I think indexing is just an issue all the way around. Two, I kind of think that it's something specific to the niche because I think it's very competitive there. I think Google would love to get articles from sites and on topics that are competitive, that they're more likely to throw them out there and then test those articles and then get them going. But when things are really competitive and you're starting with a brand new site, it's really difficult to get any sort of data on your articles, right? Let's say there are 100 websites that answer the question, can rabbits eat lettuce? And then you write the article, can rabbits eat lettuce? With your low domain authority, you're not going to get positioned at any point in any place to get any sort of data from Google to test your article. And so it doesn't surprise me at all that things aren't indexing that well. Or you can see these big fluctuations, Google's test it and then blah. So it could be a comment on the quality of the content, or it could be the niche, or it could just be Google. But what the plan will be is to make a video here pretty soon about how this is going, just so I can document what's going on. And it is to stick with the plan, which is writing 15 articles a month for in perpetuity until I don't have time to do it. And the reason is that I have done this before, and I see other colleagues of mine doing this, where you see that a site just isn't taking off, right? It's there, and you're putting articles on it, and it's not going anywhere, and you're like, this might be a waste of my time and my money. I think I might just sit on this. And then what I feel like happens is, like, 6 months from now, all of a sudden things start to perk up, and you're like, yes, all right, now is the time to start digging in and pushing on this. And I think, well, if I can expect in the future that this site is going to pick up, because I'm assuming that eventually it will, wouldn't I rather have 150 posts on it instead of 75? Or wouldn't I rather be that much farther ahead? Because I think ultimately I can get this site going. It's probably going to take maybe some links, maybe pushing paid traffic through it. I don't know, something. But I'm going to continue to push through on it and be consistent about it and see where it would be, because I think it's going to go. I just don't know when. And I want to have more content on the site for when it does go, because when it does go, I just think it'd be great. So that is where that is at. I haven't made videos on it because I feel like I'm reporting like, hey, it's like a 2-month-old site with like not that much content on it. So it's got like 100 page views this month, and then that's the video. But ultimately, I'll get there. I will make the video because I would like to have the series be nice and neat. But the sum of it is that it's got 75 articles. Indexing blows right now. I'm not giving up on it, and I hope to have progress to report very soon. Eric says the MEGA accountability group is working very hard. Oh my goodness, this month, I'm looking at it right over here on the screen right now. I feel like this has been one of the best months that most of us who are consistently in the group have had in a while. It's just, there's a lot going on, and it's so awesome. It's so awesome. It's great. And it's helping me. It's helping me a ton to have people in there. So thank you. Thank you all very much. Looking forward to the fight site video. Yeah, the only thing I think I can promise for that video is that I will punch the air a bit. Not a lot, because it's not really a fight anymore, but people, that is like the most requested detail or element or segment of these videos, is we need to see Amelia punching the air more. Alrighty then. Yes, Eric says there's no update for more than 4 months now. I thought we would get updates every quarter. Yes, and I have disappointed you, and I apologize. I'll get there. Zach says, so Amelia wins the cage fight by technicality. Not technically, because technically there are four quarters. So maybe I win. I see. Thing is like Chris might be beating me in traffic and earnings already. He shared with me the earnings from his site a while back, and he was beating me with like a fraction of the content. So I would not assume that. Maybe Chris will get fired up about it. Maybe not, but either way, I just would not assume that because I have 75 articles and he has like 4 that that I'm winning, because I'm not sure that I am, because most of it's not indexed anyway. Then I'm just scrolling up and checking in the chat because I get behind. Let's see, Soren. So Soren was there and he's back. Soren, I'm sorry if the time slot was off, but welcome. D says, I had a site for 18 months that did nothing. Then more or less overnight, it jumped to 100 daily views and then just went down from there. No updates, just went up from there. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's there's just something that clicks, and maybe it's the age. Maybe it was a link. Like, that's there. So stick with it. Yes. Sabina says, I'm at 100-ish daily views. Yes. And did better in October. Yes. People say that it will eventually go. Stick with it. And yep, that's the plan, is just to keep going and stick with it. Jay-Z says site 1 does 2,000 a month. Well, which is amazing about that is I feel like it was only a couple of months ago that we were trying to get site 1 to $1,000 a month. So the fact that it's already at $2,000 a month is really awesome. That's amazing. Site 2 and 3 earn nothing. Well, let's get site 2 or site 3 one of those to another $1,000 a month before we let you start another one. Richard Phillips, he found me. Yes, I'm so sorry. The time slot was different today. Normally we're on at 10. Today it's 11 or whatever time that is your time. I think for some people it's more convenient for them for me to go at 11, but for me it is not. Let's see. Peak says, anyone else shopping for plugins this Black Friday? I'm feeling the pressure to buy now. Me, no, because basically my sites are theme, free plugins, basic hosting, content. That's it. I really don't have a lot more. Spencer Hawes gave me access to Link Whisper. So I will say that Link Whisper is on my sites and I've been trialing it, but I didn't pay for it. And so a lot of people use Link Whisper and really like it. I'm just like so tight-fisted when it comes to spending money on things. Like I just recently upgraded my SERP robot so I could have 2 bots doing one because I had too many keywords, but it took me like 2 months of agonizing about spending another $4.99. Like, who am I? Oh man. Let's see. John says, are you going to buy a new chair or desk on Black Friday? I was just laughing about how I couldn't barely bring myself to spend $4.99 on another robot and SERP robot. So my guess is probably no. This one right here, it still works, still looks like a chair, still does the job of a chair. I would probably let it continue its job as a chair. People are also looking for themes and builders. You know, if you're planning on utilizing them in the future, then now is a great time to buy. Like the Affiliate Lab, they're usually running a 50% off sale on that course, which is like a really comprehensive course. There's lots to learn in it. May not be your style or strategy, but you know, it's a lifetime deal. Once you're in, and it's a great time to buy it if you want to. But if you're not, like if you're just like randomly shopping for things and you see like, oh, hey, yeah, this is on sale, I might use that sometime. Like, why spend that money on a blog post unless you really have a need for that thing? So I guess that's why I'm saying I feel no pressure to buy anything because I have the things that I need and things I know that work for me. Maybe I'm missing something. What is everybody else excited about? I've heard people talking about deposit photos. I've heard people talking about mostly deposit photos and like some of these AI like tools, but not interested in any of those. So what are you buying? I'll throw that out to the chat. Please tell me, what are you buying? Donna Kay says she's looking out for courses. What other courses are awesome? I think John Dykstra's courses were, was he on sale? I'm sure somebody around here has an affiliate link for John's courses. I thought Keith did. I don't have any affiliate links for that. The only affiliate links I have are in the description of this video, and none of them are deals, I don't think. Let's see. Pete purchased the Cadence Suite last year, which is excellent. I'm pretty sure they're running a special on popcorn right now if you want to buy Carl and Alex and oh dang, Phil's theme. That could be a good time to buy if that's something that you want. Soren says, has anyone found a technique or trick that helps for indexing? I'm currently working on doing as much interlinking as possible. I also try to share on multiple social platforms. And what's interesting is that the Mega site is like, I have more of a social fortress than I do on the law site, on my fight site, which I have disclosed in the past, by the way, that it is a legal niche. So I just stopped myself right now. I was like, had I said the niche before? Did I just give away the niche live on a live stream with people where I couldn't hear it? But I remembered that I had. So almost a blooper, but it wasn't. It's in the legal niche, which makes sense because I used to be a lawyer. But the law side, I haven't hardly done any social fortressing. And so maybe that's part of it. But either way, the Mega site has hundreds, if not thousands, of posts on Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest, and the fight site does not. So maybe that's part of it. I do not know. Anybody else though? Like people talk about putting YouTube videos, you know, doing the manual indexing. Like I don't know if there's like one specific trick that works every single time because I'm struggling with it also. Will says, great interview with Doug. Yeah, you should have seen me last week because somebody brought up the comment I made about being as smart as Doug or smarter than Doug. And I I found out later that it wasn't as bad as I thought it was, but I was so embarrassed. I swear we talked about it for like 4 or 5 days after the fact because but yeah, no, I had a good time with that. I I know that the niche pursuits interview is coming out soon, and I don't think there should be anything like revelatory. Is that a word? There should be no revelations in it. I think Doug sort of beat out Jared on like what's going on with the Mega side, and so I think it's probably a lot of the same. I feel like I talked a lot about the same stuff in both of them, but it was a good opportunity to go on the niche pursuits podcast, and I had fun with both of those interviews. Soren says it's 8:30 there. It is 11:30 here. So I'm still working on coffee. I actually like had coffee out today because I was out and about in the world. This is just really rare. Richard says I work for an internet marketing company, so yeah. So as a employee of an internet marketing company, what tools then would you say are indispensable for you? So you get them for free, but you would pay for them if you were not getting them for free. I would like to know. Inquiring minds would all like to know. Robin says popcorn theme. Yeah, I do think they have a deal going. Donna Kay says, I use the free version of Link Whisper, and I think that's good enough for now. I do really highly recommend the free version of Link Whisper. I hear my children moving around, so that could be a good thing, or it could mean that they're standing on top of the refrigerator right now eating their Halloween candy. They're gonna have to take care of themselves for another 25 minutes. So I hope they brush their teeth. What was I talking about? I don't remember at all. Popcorn. Oh, Link Whisper. For folks who aren't sure about Link Whisper, I do like the functionality of Link Whisper and that it shows the like the stats for the links in the dashboard, like in the admin section, like in the post section, so you can see how many posts are going in and out. And then there's a lot of good stuff in the free version of it for folks who are like, I don't know if I want to test it out or if I want to buy it. Just test it out. Test the free part of it. I think that stuff is good. Eric says he did, going back to indexing, he says he did a lot of interlinking at the end of November, and within 1 week, 60 articles have been indexed and the impressions have jumped. I would love it if some of the indexing issues I'm having on the Mega site get resolved by interlinking. I added a couple hundred interlinks last week in the hopes that something would immediately occur. So far, I have not seen anything immediately occurring, like the bumpiness that I'm seeing in Google search. I'm going to drink some coffee. It's still happening. So I'm going to keep doing interlinking because it seems like best practices, but I'm not seeing this immediate response to adding links. Zach says, good plan. Don't buy something until you have a problem. Yes. Hosting is always cheap on Black Friday. Good idea. So if you're looking at buying hosting, do I need hosting? Because I want to start a new site. And I actually have plans to start a new site in January. I don't know if we'll have time to talk about it today or if I'm authorized to talk about it today. But yeah, I do have plans to start a new site in January. And Chris is going to be like, oh, don't. Oh, don't. But folks who want to start a new site in January and build with me, just putting it out there, we're going to start a new spreadsheet, and it's going to have a new name, so it'll no longer be the Mega Content Challenge Group. We'll come up with another good name for it, but we will be starting in January, and when I have a spreadsheet, I will share it. But that comes back to hosting. I should probably look to see if I need to change my hosting plan for another site, because sadly I'm outgrowing the plan that I currently spend too much money on. Eric says that John's course is not on sale. All right, there you go. Confirmed it. No Black Friday deals from John Dexter. Chris says, my fight site has made $4.98 in the past 30 days. Oh, well, let's go see. Let's go see who's winning right now. Question, is this on premium? Because we need to figure out a way, if it is on premium, for you to account for this. But I mean, maybe that's fine. Maybe I'll go against you on premium. But let's go see who's winning I also want to know how much traffic your site has got recently. All right, ready for this? In the last 30 days, my fight site without premium has earned a whopping $2.78. So technically, if we're just going dollar for dollar in the last 30 days, Chris, with a fraction of the content, beating me. Maybe he's just that good. I'm going to go look at the 30 days traffic to. And Chris, if you were still here, you should tell me what sort of traffic you're seeing with your site, because I'm curious. Let's see. Richard says, I spend $50 a month for AI writing, and then when I'm on a roll, I create 20 articles a month, so $250 each is a great deal. Yes, definitely. Especially if the content that you're getting with your AI writer is good content. Absolutely. All right, here we go. What sort of traffic did the fight site get in the last 30 days? If I could do a drum roll. Let's see. The last 30 days, pursuant to Google Analytics, was 531 page views and 426 sessions. So how's that going, Chris? How's it going? The other thing we were going to do, I remember now, is the RPM, and I'm pretty sure Chris is beating me there too. So far with the Zoic, the fight site EPMV is $6.17, and I'm pretty sure yours was dramatically better than mine with like no traffic. Has anyone here done John Dykstra's course? I have done them and I like them. I can't recommend them enough, especially if there's something specific in the course that you need. Like, so is there a specific one, Sue, that you're thinking of? Like, because he breaks them down into specifics like Pinterest or like keyword research, whatever. That would help because there's a lot of it now. Jay says, did you apply for Mediavine? And I say, I took the Mega site. I did apply for Mediavine with it, and it did get approved, and ads went live on it on Friday. So yes, Jay's got it. Jay-Z's got to go. See you later, John. It was good to see you, and hopefully we'll catch you soon. Peak says, I'll probably buy Fluent Forms. I don't know Fluent Forms. And the Publish Press plugins because I want writers and translators to work directly in WordPress, but restrictions to stay safe. I don't know either of those because I'm terrible with plugins, but that sounds great. Sounds awesome. Richard says indexing is pretty easy as long as you have other sites pointing to the page you want indexed. Free social media 2.0 sites work great in helping pages get indexed. Those are good points. D says it wasn't bad at all. It was a very relevant comment that experience is the only factor in this industry. I don't think it's the only factor, but it's a huge one. We're talking about like me talking about my intelligence versus other people's. Let's see. Keith's got a review of John Dykstra's courses, and he also mentions that popcorn is 25% off, and I do believe that it is. Richard says indispensable tools at Ahrefs and link assistance rank tracker. Sabina says I'm liking the free version. I'm assuming that's of Link Whisper, and I might buy some credits with Keyword Chef. Our Keyword Chef credits on sale for Black Friday? That would be good to know because there's a lot of people who are interested in using it or are using it. Soren says he's buying credits for Short Pixel. Sharat says late to the party, lost 25% traffic with Google Update. What was your experience? We talked about it a little bit in the beginning, and my personal experience is I am seeing some downturn, but not huge. And I think that's probably because I don't optimize for snippets because I'm lazy. I just haven't gotten there. I don't know. I don't know. But there are a lot of people who are doing info content that are down right now. And I don't know necessarily what the fix is going to be, or if there's anything that we could do aside from continuing to plow forward, and then just wait to see Google update things in the future. Richard says, I want to join you next year. I need to get off my lazy. And well, January 1 is launch date. I probably will do a prep video for this, like a pre-launch video, and I can just tease the fact that it will probably be an age domain situation because I really, okay, I'll just tell you. I'm planning on doing an age domain. I'm not call it a case study. It's like a video series, but I basically want to do almost replicate what I did with the Amiga site. So 500 articles in 12 months, not focusing on links, but seeing what the difference is between a fresh domain and an age domain. And I know it will not be an objective study because it's going to be in a different niche at a different time. But I would really love to see the difference and say, okay, in this month I did 25 articles. And then, on the news site, like doing just similar content pushes, and like I'll put Ezoic on at the same time I did as before, and then just see how things are different. I can't control for indexing, and I can't control for, inbound links from other sites and stuff, but it'll just be cool to see, all these companies who are doing age domains, they're like, oh, it's so much easier to get traffic and all this stuff. Well, let's see. And I don't have any experience uh, with an age domain anything, so it will be a good learning experience for me as well to do it. And so yeah, that is the plan. An age domain case study starting in January. I'm super jazzed about it. Soren says he'll build with me in January. Boom. You'll see the link coming out here eventually for joining the group for that, but I think that's awesome. Savita says, I'm in Carly Facebook group, Blogging Like We Mean It. She's got a very respectable Pinterest course. She's been doing niche sites now as well. So is anybody still doing Pinterest? Because Pinterest is not what it was, but it is still something. And I wonder who's like having good experiences right now with Pinterest. I would like to know. Keith says he might build a new site in January too. That's awesome. We need to think of a good name for it. So far, Project Flamingo, I think, is the name that so far a lot of people have said they wanted, but I would still I would like to solicit more name options. I'm not going to do anything involving Joe Biden or anything that might look like pseudo political, because I get tired of getting people's DMs on Facebook or, in the chat, in the description of these videos, like, how do you feel about X political thing? I'm like, this is not about MAGA. Like, this is not making America great again. This is the internet. So anyway, we got to think of something that's not like Biden, Trump, like related. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. What happened to No Look November? So Soren, what happened to No Look November is that it became Don't Look Unless Necessary November. And the way that happened, and the reason that happened, is that when I applied for Mediavine, I actually had to go into all of these dashboards and look, and then also do some like looking. So I had to look. So it's not a pure No Look November, and I may do No Looks the March or something in the future. But what I'm doing now is just no looking unless necessary. And so right now, when I looked at the fight site, what my stats were, one thing I did not do was go look at anything else. I didn't look at anything else. I don't need to go look at anything else. Therefore, I did not. So that has become the mantra for No Look November. Robin says Fluent Forms is great. That's awesome. Yeah, the candy. Yeah, we have so much candy in the house after Halloween. It's kind of gross, actually. There's no way we can eat it all. If we ate it all, we would die. Keith says keyword chef credits are double for Black Friday. Well, there you go. Go buy some keyword chef credits. Tony says, oh, I've won so many snippets and it makes a huge difference. You should make time for them. I know, but I want to start an age domain site because I want to have one. So, it's like, there's this, and then there's this. That's just how it is. Adrian says, I'm with you guys in January on the new spreadsheet. I will start a new website as well. That's awesome. I'm excited about it. Chris says 90 page views, but a 36 EPMV. Yes. Well, it's pretty hard to beat that, isn't it? He says, yes, premium is on. I think premium is making 95% of the revenue. I don't believe it. Let's see when I deactivate premium. I bet the revenue won't drop all that much. Well, I hope for your sake that it does continue to earn at the $36 EPMV, because that means that site will be a monster. And I could not wait to see it grow. What an amazing niche that you've picked then, to have a site that gets 90 page views a month that has the EPMB of $36. That sounds like a winner to me. D says, have you bought your age domain or are you still looking? I have not bought it yet. The kind folks over at Otis are going to help me do that. And I'm sure you will see videos about that. Still working out the details there. Either way, like if I don't work out any sort of like official collaboration partnership with them, and I'll just say it straight up, we're talking about doing some sponsored videos. And if the like partnership doesn't work out, I will probably still buy a domain either through them or somebody else. So we'll just see. I just would like to have this experience. You know, it's like an experience. I would just like to have it. Sabina says, I've considered buying a site that was only kind of built out and built on it. It's a mom blog, but they're only asking a few $100. That could be a good experience. A $300 investment. See what you could make of it. Maybe nothing, but sometimes maybe something, and maybe it's a good thing. I would be curious to hear how it plays out for you. Richard says, age domains used to work for me. Lately, Google has gotten pretty smart when it comes to age domains and tends not to rank them as well anymore in my experience. Yes, well, I may have that same experience, right? You can learn from my suffering. Hey, Josh, what's going on? It's good to see you. Let's see. Chris is sharing words with Sherrod for getting slammed by the update. Zach says he was getting nothing from Pinterest for his coffee site. Didn't seem worth the effort when organic was going well. Tony says I pin 10 pins a day and it works for me. Donna K says I'm not having a good experience from Pinterest at the moment. Yeah, I am not devoting any time whatsoever into Pinterest. Richard says race to the niches. Yes, the riches are in the niches. Barra says, are you starting a new website with H domain or fresh? The plan is an H domain. Just join the chat, Barat. It's good to see you. Yep. No, the plan is to do an age domain, 12 months with an age domain to do 500 articles in 12 months, pretty much like the mega site, except on an age domain. Project Icarus. Wow. You know, I feel like that could be the theme, the mascot of building niche websites, right? Like you want to push it as far as you can, like as high as you can, and get out while you still have your money before the Google algorithm melts your wings and you die. That Icarus, like that, so far, that might be one of my favorites. What do you guys think of Project Icarus? I'm liking it. I'm really liking it. Jay says, I found your channel in July this year and immediately started a mega site and following the video plays month to month. I will start another site July next year. Yeah, totally. I went through this thing where I was thinking that I would be able to start a new site every 6 months or every quarter, like that other gal does. Why can I not remember? Anyway, like there's another. Why can I never? Shauna Newman. That's what it is. I blame my scattered brain on this, but she starts a new site every quarter. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I could do every quarter, but twice a year seems reasonable for me. Especially as I have a larger and larger budget for outsourcing content. So yeah, you could start with us in January or start another one in July. I cannot say for sure that I would start another one in July of this next year. We'll just have to see how things are going. Dee says, talking about Pinterest, used to do that and got decent metrics, then dropped off, may have it go again. Holophone is bad for chat. Yeah, no, it's not good. Amelia feels the Carl Cheater method. I don't know what the Carl Cheater method is, but we will say that Carl is not here to tell us what he had for tea. And I feel like we're missing something here. Dee says, are you picking a niche or are you going to go with what's available? Well, that's a great question. I think it's going to be a bit of both. I think generally I'm going to have some niche ideas, but then in the end, I'm going to go with maybe the best of what's available against what I have for niches. I don't know. Like that's I guess what I will figure out in December is what is this site going to be about? I currently don't have a niche. I have like a list of ideas. I just don't know which one it's going to be. And luckily, all my mega content for the year will be done. So I won't be all worried about trying to do that, plus focusing on the new niche. That was one of the reasons I wanted to finish by the end of this month. It's called FOMO. Yes, yes. I frequently have fear of missing out. Let's see. Hassan, what's going on? Thanks for dropping in. How old of a domain are you looking for? Yeah, see, I haven't, I don't have it necessarily in my mind what this domain will look like, but here's what I think. I think I should maybe plan like long term doing one or two more of these. So you say, okay, here's the characteristics of this domain. Maybe it's 3 years old or 2 years old or 6 months old or 10 years old, or they cost X number of dollars, and then compare the 12 months results and then try again, but with a different domain that maybe is younger or older, just so I can say, okay, I have more experience working with an H domain, and here is the I would like reproducible results, right? And I don't know if that's even possible, but say, okay, here's what I was able to do with a 2-year-old domain, and here's what I was able to do with a 5-year-old domain, and what the characteristics of it were. So some of it is I don't know yet, but I'm excited to make videos about it. Margaret says, I like Project Icarus. I do too. Project Limitless. Limitless. For some reason, I really like that imagery of like melting wings. I don't know why. Maybe because we're going through this algorithm update right now, and some people have gotten their wings melted, and it just seems so appropriate. I would hate to like make a project, with the mantra in mind that this could get melted at some point, but maybe Keith is better. Maybe Project Limitless is the better one. Jasper, what is going on? So Jasper, I was looking in the Amiga group, and you mentioned something like one of your writers was just spinning other articles, and that. So what are you going to do? Like, are you going to? Well, first of all, you're going to fire that person, but then, like, like, other than being mad, like, what are you going to do? I want to know this. I want to know the things. Vera says, when are you going to buy the H domain, and what is the budget? I'm still working on that. I have 35 more articles to post for this month before I can really turn my focus to that. So first step, 35 more articles. Next step is figure out a niche and the domain in December. So that will be the plan for December, is to figure out those things. So I will report back as I know about it. Eric says, Project Icarus sounds good, rings a bit science fiction. I mean, I'm liking it. Josh says, I have less ADHD, no new sites for a bit. Sometimes you have no need for it. I just saw a squirrel. It's so funny that we were talking about ADD or ADHD. I literally just saw a squirrel running across the fence. Like, it was one of those moments where I wasn't even joking when I'm like, squirrel. Like, I looked, there really was a squirrel, I swear. I swear. Oh, are you getting your H domain from Otis? I am getting it from Otis. That's the plan anyway, assuming that, what, even if we don't work together, I probably will still get it from Otis because everybody else is working with Otis right now. And I would like to know how it is so that I could either recommend them or not, because I don't know yet. James says, suggested project name, a contraction of job exit. Jackson. Oh yes, Project Icarus has less risk of being political though. Well, I actually think the Brexit and the job exit, I think that's clever. I might table that, or somebody else should use it if I don't use it this year, because I think it's a good one. Project Melting Wings. Project Churn and Burn. What Devin says, what is a spun article? A spun article, these softwares, basically what they do is they take content from other sites and just sort of change the words and the order of the words. So it's pretty much the same information. It just looks different and sounds different, but it's basically the same, right? And there are article spinning software products that do this for you. So it looks like you have unique and content that somebody actually wrote, but it turns out it is just somebody else's content that was stolen and spun into something else. Jasper says, I'm going to check her older articles tomorrow, and she's gone. Yeah, I mean, that would bug me. And, that's the thing, though, like outsourcing articles, you have to look pretty carefully sometimes to even spot it. I mean, I have to read through it and then sometimes go and do searches to see what I can see because sometimes it's really difficult to tell. So I don't think you should feel bad about not knowing. It's just it's getting harder and harder to tell because these softwares are becoming more and more sophisticated. Adrian says, regarding age domains, I don't think the age is so important. The power of the links pointing to the domain are, you would want good links to homepage, root domain. Good points. Keith says, Keith is on a roll. He says, Project Take That, Google. Project TGG. Churn and Burn could have some interesting thumbnails. I concur. Zach likes Project Icarus. Plenty of plans for future Greek themed names. I'll take my dead side and put in Project Phoenix. I like that. I really wish I could upload the squirrel theme meme. Yes, I know. Jasper says he's talking about starting an age domain, but it's probably best to focus on my current projects first. Yes, well, you just launched another site, right? I feel like I saw one of your videos where you had the 50 articles and then you were launching all at once. And so it seems early to be starting a new site. Project Squirrel. Another vote for Project Icarus. I can see a whole merch line for Project Squirrel too. Yes, I think there's a lot of fun that could be had with the squirrel. Jasper says about the spun articles, it was pure coincidence. I didn't know about the topic she was writing, and the article got me intrigued, and I Googled it, and the first article was the same as hers. Man, that'd be so frustrating. Project Squirrel is hilarious. Yes. Well, folks, I don't even know if I've talked about all the things that I plan to talk about, but I will say that doing the stream at 11 versus doing it at 10 has been a good time slot. I don't know, like maybe I will adjust this in the future. It just seemed to work out today, but I will ask folks either in the chat or in the replay if the current, for me at Los Angeles, 11 to 12 is better than from 10 to 11. I may be going up against other people, against Alex and Doug, and maybe the reason there was such a lively chat today was because they were not streaming, but whatever it is, I enjoyed it. I will take it. I plan to be here next Wednesday. I know in the next couple of weeks, I plan to have Carl Broadbent to come onto the stream. He wants to talk about the affiliate gathering, and I really want to talk about what in the heck fire he wants me to talk about at affiliate gathering. If I actually make it there in person, like what are we going to do? So I'm looking forward to having him come and talk about that so I can spend the next 6 months planning my speech. Project Yasa, yet another site again. Alex is not streaming on Wednesday. Okay. Project Bing, but it needs. All right, enough. If you're catching this on the replay, give us your thoughts about Project Icarus, or if you have other ideas, I would love to hear them. Folks, I will see you next week. It was a lovely day today. I drank coffee and had a great time. And hopefully the next time I speak with you, I will have finished those 35 articles so I could get to check the box 500. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Have a great day. And for those of you who celebrate it, have a very happy Thanksgiving. Take care.